My name's Adam, and you're watching Motor Trash on YouTube. Here we go again. Alright, so in this week's video, we're going to go get that big block for Ellie. But first, I need to get all of my engine pulling equipment in the bed of my truck. Next up is getting together all my tools, because organization. Okay, so that's everything that I'm taking. Probably everything I need, plus some, minus a few. I'm sure I'll be hurting for some tool at least once. So let's go get this motor. Alright, I'm standing here with the donor vehicle. It's a 90s. Man, this wind is going to be a problem. It is a 90s C30 Chevy pickup. I know these OBS styles are getting real popular, but unfortunately this one has some title issues. It was owned by a friend, so not that big of a deal to borrow the motor out of. So I'm going to get this open. Y'all come over, check it out, and we'll go from there. Just as I left it. Properly stored. So this weekend, while I'm recording, I did go through and found some old footage from when we first got this thing popping off again. It did drive to the spot it's at now. That being said, that's been about 2 years. The motor was locked up when I first started messing with it. And all I did to get it running, because something else, the wiring in this pickup was just shot. And I have enough trouble with my 60s GM wiring, which is basically Lego's baby's first wiring kit. Anyhow, all I did, I found the cheapest carburetor intake for this motor. I think I've got this on Amazon actually. And also the Amazon HEI for a big block, which I think is the same for a small block. Anyhow, again, the cheapest I could muster, and tossed it in here, drove it from the front yard out here to the field of broken dreams, and let it sit. The only thing I know that is actually wrong with this is every freeze plug in this entire truck is bad. I know this because I put, knowing that I wasn't going to get to this truck for a while, I put actual coolant in the truck. And as soon as I started it, it all ran out, all the freeze plugs. So that was cool. I'm hoping we don't have a cracked block or warped heads or anything crazy like that. It did run pretty good for just, throwing it on. I didn't do a whole lot of tuning. I just threw it on and went. And of course the carburetor got robbed. So we've got mess inside here. But plan is to tear all this apart anyways. Today we're just getting it out and getting it to the house. Let's get on it. Alright, I'm going to start with just throwing this lift plate on, because I know it's got to go on, so. And we don't have a fuel system to speak of. That was something else. When we got this truck picked up, I think it had 2 fuel tanks. And I think they were both, one was on the bed of it and the other was laying under it in the dirt. So we just used a little fuel cell and an electric fuel pump. Like I said, it ran and drove pretty good, at least by my standards. I'm sure anybody who actually knows what they're doing would disagree, but like I said, we're pulling this thing apart anyways, so not gonna be the end of the world if it's not the best running 454 out there. And of course, we're dealing with what I would consider a later model vehicle. So 10 mil everywhere. Nope. Holder there. Oh, cool! It's a 2-piece fan shroud. That's neat. There's those. Got some over there too. Watch out for the wasps. They'll leave you alone if you leave them alone. Who's heard that? My whole childhood. And of course, that's just a flat. Do you identify as a flathead screwdriver? You do. So proud of you. Who doesn't bring a flathead? Oh yeah, we do have supervisors out here today. Multiple. 2-piece fan shroud.
You gonna go ahead and pull the hood?
Yeah, eventually. You just snap in. Yeah. Okay, that was nice of Dad to stop by and heckle. I got underneath, I got the exhaust disconnected from the manifolds. Not that you can really tell by looking. They are disconnected on both sides. I also got the drive shaft disconnected from the back of the transmission. So all that's left are these motor mounts, and I should be able to start trying to wiggle this big old thing out of here. So I'll get you all set up in a good safe distance. Don't need any liability issues. Y'all getting hurt on my watch. I almost forgot. I'm gonna pull the hood. Look at all this room. Cool. Throttle cable stuck up out of the way. Alright, y'all watch, tell me what I missed. I already know what I missed. Motor mounts. Alright, Dad came out and helped me get motor mounts, so we are free at front. Yep. We might have to put the jack under it, but you know what I forgot? This whole shifter assembly in the cab. Alright, pause. Alright, this was definitely at least a two-person job, if not more. Dad came out and manhandled some of this, and this was not fun. We got the stub out for the shifter, and this pedestal kept catching on the body. You can see all the red and all the witness marks. Ratchet strap at the front of the motor assisted in that. And other than that, it was just a lot of wiggle worming. We've got it to about the point where we're ready to just drag this truck backwards and get this set down in his truck, all my stuff put back in mine, and we can head to the house and tear into this. RIP oil filter. Didn't make it. I don't think we broke much else though. Still got some wires I'm going to disconnect. Now, if this image looks any kind of familiar to you, it should be. This is actually really similar to our logo, which was a real photo and is posted out there on Instagram. This is how we did the Ram Charger motor. We came out to the field, pulled the truck out from underneath the motor. And just like we're about to do with this, we're going to set it down in the bed of a truck and take it to my place, and we're going to tear this down and learn all of its secrets. Up. Got about another 12 inches. Whoop! Yank those up quick. I'm going to drop it down a little bit and hopefully it'll swing inwards. Y'all gotta do better about calling me out on stupid ideas. Okay, it is the next day and a couple showers later. I got home and unloaded this, set it down on the tire, and I went inside. Played some video games with the family. Good time. So from here, I'm gonna, I guess, bust that transmission off the back and get the engine on the stand and hopefully find a place to put it while we start our next phase of getting this big block ready. So yeah, let me figure out what's first and get back with y'all then. Okay, well, even though most real shops probably wouldn't even consider this indoors with the door closed, I think that's where it's going to sit. I've just got too much stuff in here. Okay, well that's done. Sorry I didn't film it. It's hot. But did find some lunch. Nice. All that was the bell housing bolts, and then you wiggle it out. We already knew why the slave cylinder on the clutch didn't work, but we did confirm. Very much rotted off. Oh, I'm stepping on part of it. Yeah. So the hydraulic clutch didn't work on that truck. We might end up going hydraulic clutch and using this bell housing on the other transmission. It just kind of depends. Well, it depends on a lot of things, but yep, we're here now. Okay, we're in the shade now, and I've really been giving this little DeWalt run for its money. I haven't had it that long, I don't think, and it does pretty good for just being the little impact driver instead of an impact, but well, that's the way it is. You want something to not work, brag about it. Ooh, yeah, that's real rusty. Clutch disc. Yeah, all those heat spots, and that's big uneven, so there's more dollars. And I guess I said that I need this off too, so guess we're doing that now. You can see more of the carnage. Oh. Come on. Alright. Pinched fingers later. Good news is we might be able to reuse this flywheel. The teeth on the ring gear look good, and now who am I kidding? We'll replace that. This is just as rough as the pressure plate. I'm sure a shop can turn it or whatever, they level it, whatever. But I don't know if it's worth paying the money for that or just buying a new one. You know, those freeze plugs don't look bad. That's where the cam is, behind there. Those plugs, I mean, they look rusty, but they look fine. Okay. Well, there's the back of the 454. Okay, it is now several hours later, and I do have the engine on the stand. I may or may not have made a complete mess and fool of myself doing so. Nonetheless, we're here. I'm just going to start pulling these manifolds off. I've already got them sprayed down with Freol. I don't know what y'all's weapon of choice is on rusty bolts, but Freol seems to do the trick for me most of the time. Say it again, space is super limited in here, so kind of gonna just get what you get. Feel free to throw a fit. I'm still not seeing any obvious signs that freeze plugs are bad. Interesting. Quite interesting. Oh, y'all are looking right at me. You're not even looking at the motor. What are y'all doing? Over there. Where's it bad at? Those don't look bad. At least that I can tell. Also, I read somewhere that they didn't have a mechanical fuel pump provision. This is an alleged Gen 5 454. Maybe Wikipedia is wrong? Because that looks like a block-off plate for a mechanical fuel pump. It could be a good thing. Okay, well, I guess we can tear apart the front accessories. We'll get you set up over there, and maybe you'll pay more attention. Okay, well, I would like to cordially invite you all to, I don't know, this. Anyways, a few things a Gen 5 big block would have that this doesn't, that I knew, that I ignored. First off, these are adjustable style pedestals for the rocker arms. I believe that Gen 5 has non-adjustable. Oof. These are adjustable. And also, I believe they're supposed to have cast aluminum valve covers. These have stamped steel. And also roller lifters. And a roller cam, obviously. And I've had the intake off before, and I guess I just didn't look. Anyhow, I'm sure that if you were to run numbers on the head or the block, it would come back as what it is, which is, I guess, a Gen 4. So anyhow, I'm gonna get busy tearing this apart. Again, I think there's a solid possibility these head gaskets went, and that's what leaked. I'm hoping. And we'll just keep going and look for evidence of anything worse. Okay, I'm going to heat this off and then do that side and show you both of them at the same time. Sure. That's what I'll go with. Remind me to look at that. Alright, so this is real mushy. And this was real dark in through here. Some more of that here. And there are water ports back there. I don't know exactly why they'd be blocked off. I'll have to look at the head. These have pinholes. Wonder if these were supposed to have pinholes. Pretty nasty. And we do have some rust in the cylinders. No ring ridge. No ring ridge. No ring ridge. Nothing to catch a nail on. So in that respect, that's good. Just wipe that rust anywhere. In that respect, these are better than the Ram Charger. The Ram Charger had quite a bit of ring ridge. Yeah, it's a lot easier to see. No markings as far as what would be rebuild markings. So, oh wait, hold on. That's 030. That says 030, so this is 30 thousandths over. Okay. Well, there's just some news. This has been monkeyed with. Alright, so now we have both driver and passenger side cylinder heads off. And yes, we can see 030. So this is a 30 over engine. So basically that means that I was wrong in assuming that this was a Gen 5. This is in fact a Mark 4, I don't know. I've been listening to the internet too much. I'm going to call it a Mark 4. I think they ran them sometime in the 70s to like 1990, 1989. But there are a lot of pluses that come with this. One being mechanical fuel pump provision. So we can run a mechanical fuel pump. Now, we don't get the one-piece rear main seal, which is fine. We don't get the roller cam engine, which is fine. It's not my first rodeo with flat tappets, so. That being said, I do think this is still going to serve its purpose well in that 67. That being said, I'm going to cut this video off here. I am probably going to go ahead and tear into the oil pan. I don't anticipate there being much to see in there. I feel like we found everything that we needed up here. And if y'all are curious, there's the number 106,986. And I did research that and came up with 454. Being 30 over, it's technically a 461, I think. That is assuming what's in the bottom end is stock. I do have one unfortunate bit of news, and that is this cylinder. It's pretty crusty, rusty, wasted. It is the only one that is like this, fortunately. Yeah, I'm not real happy about that. But there's some carbon here, but there's not really a ring ridge. Again, a little bit of carbon, no ring ridge. No ring ridge whatsoever there, not even enough to catch the nail, just like the other side. I did kind of go over the head gaskets. This one seemed fine. I don't know if... I don't think this one failed. This one, on the other hand, and I did kind of get it dirty, but this one showed signs where it might have failed through here. I don't know that for 100% fact. I'm not well versed in reading gaskets like that, but the rust pattern kind of lends to maybe this failed and it leaked out. I'm not positive. I know water ran out of this engine when I started it, and to me it seemed like it came out of the sides and the rear, which is why I thought freeze plugs or frost plugs or cast plugs, whatever you want to call them. But again, I don't really see any obvious signs of failing on any of these plugs. So, and it's not wet. You know, if water were to have run down through there, that would be kind of clean. And that's kind of what this seems like. It's got some dirt on it from sitting, but I mean, to me that's what that seems like. So, like I said, I'll be pulling the pan. Okay, phone died. Sorry about that. Anyhow, that's going to do it for this video on this big block. Comment below and tell me what you think I should do with it. I think I know what I'm going to do with it, because again, I'm trying to stay budget minded. I'm not trying to go crazy as much as I would love to. That's just not in the cards right now. That doesn't mean it can't come out of the car later and I can really dump some money into it, but for our purposes, going to No Name Nationals next year, and something I didn't really think of, duct tape drags. I think this would be fun to take there. You know, even if I paint the motor, I got the motor for free. The car we paid hundreds for, you know. Everything that's been done has been done by me. It's not like I take it anywhere and actually put any money into it. So, you know, duct tape drags would be really fun to take this to, I think. So yeah, comment down below and let me know what y'all would do, budget-minded, to build this maybe a little hotter. I know I've showed you that one bad cylinder would be, I can't math, 8, cylinder 8. So I know I'm already going to break it down and at least try to stone hone it to bring that back around. And you will see that on future videos, so be sure and like and subscribe, ring the bell so you can get notifications about what we're doing. Help us hit that 500 subscriber mark, and yeah, we'll catch you later.